What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Welcome to the channel, everyone. This video might be a bit controversial for some of you guys out there. We actually covered this topic a week or 2 weeks ago, and a lot of you guys kind of like misunderstood the point in there. So I'm trying to kind of like I'm gonna try to explain you guys and kind of like to make you see the bigger picture, why the Ascension and the gear can actually get ruined. So when I mean ruined, I don't mean that that's it, you can never use that piece of gear ever again, it's completely useless. That's not what I mean. Ruined is more of a metaphor. So think about it, something that is god tier in present, in the future won't be god tier anymore. And I'm gonna make you kind of like get the whole idea and kind of like explain you everything. For example, if you watch this video right here, just so you guys know what I'm talking about, don't do the mistake, like kind of like how to optimize your Ascension and everything. We kind of like cover quite a few things in here. A lot of people were like, Skratch, are you crazy? You cannot say something like this. Everything improves your gear. Everything that came with the Ascension is great. It doesn't matter what you roll on it, is going to improve your gear. And I disagree. And I'm going to explain you why I disagree, because if I haven't made it that clear in the previous video, I'm definitely going to try to do it today. And I don't want to flame anybody or stuff like that. I'm just kind of trying to make everyone understand my point of view in here. And then please listen to everything and let me know what you think as well. Feel free to drop it in the comments down below. For example, let's forget that the Ascension is in the game at the moment, okay? Let's just imagine that it's not there. Right now, we have a god tier piece of gear, okay? So let's just say these boots right here are god tier for me. 60% attack, because that's the main stat. 6 star, we have crit rate, speed, crit damage. Awesome boots. Now, these are the god tier at the very moment without having the Ascension. Let's just forget about the Ascension for a second, right? And before this was the god tier, I had a different sort of god tier in my vocabulary. Not just me, every single one of you guys actually, because this used to be considered god tier 2-3 years ago. 50% attack of 5-star boots. Wow, look at all that. Crit rate, crit damage. We have everything that we need, right? But guess what happened? When this was god tier, they introduced the 6-star gear. Well, the 6-star gear made the 5-star gear like a plastic water gun, because nobody wanted the 5-star gear for their main champions anymore. And I'm not saying that this gear cannot be used on champions. It can definitely be used on faction war champions. Pretty much whatever champions you guys have available, but it won't be your main gear for your best champions anymore. So hear me out from this perspective, okay? Because they added the 6-star gear that gave roughly an increase of the bonus stat of 20%. From 5-star to 6-star was a massive boost in stats, right? Or in sub-stats, in the main stat, everything actually got much better. And that's like, wow, why do I want to get 5-star gear? I don't want to get 5-star gear. Everybody wants to get 6-star gear. And that's kind of like why they're farming dungeons, to get 6-star gear. If not, they were gonna farm lower stages to just go for the 5-star if it wouldn't be as important. And then they added new content, harder content. They added the Doom Tower, they added other difficulty on clan bosses, stuff like that. The game got harder, right? So 6-star gear was way more important than we ever thought it will be. Well, right now, come to the present, we have Ascension in the game, right? They are promising us some extreme content coming to the game as well, and yeah, it's probably gonna need to have extra stats on our champions, regardless if we're talking about nukers, about support champions, about tanks. We're gonna need to match the right Ascension stat on their gear if we want them to be like god tier for the future of the game. And the future is here, guys, okay? It's not something that's gonna happen in 5 years. It's around the corner. Now let me just put it in the next way. I have this bad boy Leorius, right? And I do have pretty good stats on him, pretty good gear too. But how you can see, nothing on it is ascended to maximum for the simple fact that, hey, it just doesn't roll me the right thing. This is flat attack. I can live with this. It's 80% attack, 80 attack, sorry, not percent, damn. 80 attack, that's roughly 4 or 5% depending on the champion, you know. Then the boots as well, roll me flat HP, defense. I don't really need the survivability on a champion like this, and these flat stats that you're getting out of it are not really gonna keep your champion alive anyway. Like you're still gonna knock him out the same way you were knocking him before. Now, his stats are pretty good. 7.4k attack, 295 crit damage. I think is a pretty solid build. But then we're going over to Mr. Baron. Baron does have a higher base attack than Leorius, right? And he has 4-star Ascension, Awakening. So he gains a bit of extra crit damage from there. But just focus on the attack. So the weapon has flat attack. So that's 5% attack there. Flat attack, 5% attack there. The gauntlet has crit damage. So the 80% crit damage just became 100% crit damage. This is the new God tier, okay? What you've seen on Leorius, that is in the past. That's not something that is gonna be called God tier anymore. This is the new God tier. And if you're not rolling God tier, the pieces of gear that you had can be called ruined. And ruined is a metaphor. They're just not what they used to be anymore. And you can argue it and say that they're still getting improved. They are not getting improved by rolling you the wrong stat. Okay, that's not improvement. And it is RNG. I'm just kind of trying to explain you guys the bigger picture to understand what I meant in the previous video, why Palladium will bring a reroll system. We're gonna get to that in just a second. Then we have the chest piece. The 60% attack just became freaking 80%. Is a 30+% increase in the bonus stat. Massive, right? Is actually huge. Now, the boots, of course, didn't roll perfectly. Roll me flat HP. I'm not gonna max this out because it's pretty pointless. 1000 HP is not gonna save my Baron in arena. He's still gonna get killed by Arbiter the same way he was getting before. But his total stats, 9.1k attack, 320 crit damage because of the blessing. Without the blessing being at 4-star, he would have the exact same crit damage as Leorius. But look at that attack compared to what Leorius has. And keep in mind, yes, Baron does have a higher base stat as attack, you know, so that actually benefits him quite a bit. But gear that rolls you the right ascension is like bringing in 7-star gear over the 6-star. That's the exact same thing, okay? That's what's happening. But instead of being written 7-star next to the gear, you're gonna have to ascend the stars, waste a bit of more energy to kind of like farm the oils. And yes, if your gear doesn't roll you the right thing, it's just not as relevant as it used to be. And yeah, you can argue it and say, no, it still improves it, but it doesn't. Like, how are these things improving my Leorius? You know, like, they're not improving him. And I'm just kind of like trying to hopefully make you guys understand what the word ruin meant. Now, the reason why I know that Palladium is gonna bring in the rerolling system is because if this stays like this, right? Like I went already, I farmed so much of that new dungeon. Probably, I don't know, I threw in 40k energy, I would say, around there, maybe more, 50k energy. And that's what's gonna happen with the majority of people that care about ascending the gear. And right now, a lot of you guys don't care about it, but it will become important. I'm gonna explain you that in just a second too. I'm gonna try not to keep it too long, you know. So right now we farm this dungeon quick, we mess up all the gear, it rolls good, it doesn't roll good. Pieces that they were amazing, they kind of like become irrelevant. We keep a small handful that are great. And then it's no point to max the gear that didn't roll good. We're not gonna farm this dungeon anymore. And yeah, in 2 months, the new dungeon comes out, 1 or 2 months for accessories. We're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna stop farming them. Because to get an upgrade on the gear is extremely, extremely painful. Like, if I wanna go and farm a dungeon, Fire Knight, or Dragon, or Spider, and if I'm not getting super lucky, you know, stupid lucky, I might need around 100k energy to get an upgrade, if I'm lucky, for one of my main champions, okay, to give me something that can be called an upgrade for a god tier piece of gear. Yeah, I'm gonna get upgrades for my faction war champions, but who cares about about that much, you know. I'm gonna farm that daily and forget about it till the next time when it opens. It's not something extremely important because the content is not that hard. And if they don't bring the reworking system for all that, we're not gonna go and farm these dungeons to max everything that rolled bad, you know. That's kind of like what's gonna happen. And yes, they will bring harder content where we will require to have better stats on the champions. Just have an idea or have a look at the past when we had the 5-star gear. We had the Nightmare Clan boss, and was fine. They added Ultra Nightmare, 5-star gear was getting hammered, okay? Then they added the Doom Tower. They added all these crazy bosses that need 250 plus speed, 300 plus accuracy, 600 accuracy, 500 accuracy, 600 resistance. It's not doable without 6-star gear, and whatever comes to the game is not gonna be doable without having the gear ascended with the right stats, okay? And this is something that Plarium really, I feel like they've done it bad, because they took all the work that we put in the game for the last 3 years and they kind of like spat on it and said like, you know what guys, it's fine. If something was amazing before, now it just becomes average, and if you're lucky, you're lucky. If you're not lucky, c'est la vie. Go farm again 1 million energy to get a couple of pieces that can be ascended again, and that's kind of like how the situation is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hopefully I made my point crystal clear. You guys got the idea with the jumps in the quality of the gear and devaluating the older things that we had, just to kind of like try to make us farm more dungeons. And even if they try to make us farm more dungeons, how I mentioned, is extremely painful to really get an upgrade once you reach a certain level, and slowly every single one of you guys will get there if you continue to play the game, you know. And yeah, I feel like they just devaluated the 6-star gear that rolls bad compared to the one that doesn't. Like, just as an idea, the content is not in the game at the moment, the one that's gonna require us to have much better builds on our champions, much stronger tanks in order to survive and stuff like that, you know. That's why it's gonna be relevant for all of us to farm the Ascension, because it's gonna be needed. I know for a fact that new Doom Tower difficulty, it will come eventually to the game, so probably we're gonna get Brutal or Nightmare, however they're gonna decide to call the next difficulty in the Doom Tower. We're gonna get difficulties in the Hydra clan boss. We're gonna get a new clan boss right here in the Great Void. Whatever this is going to be, I can guarantee you that it will require some insane builds on our champions to be the hardest content, and we can only do that with the future God tier gear, which is gonna be the perfectly ascended rolls on the gear. The chances are not very high. That's why rerolling needs to happen, to give us a few extra chances at not screwing every single piece of gear that you have on your account. And hopefully this was clear enough, you know. How I mentioned, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about the whole situation? Think about Arena for a second like this. I have my tank champions and I have my Arena defense team, right? I got the right substats on my gear. I have defense, HP, what I need on my tanks. And then I have my Leorius, which roll bad on everything. I can't improve him with that. I'm gonna go and attack you guys with your crazy defense. You rolled everything good on some of the sets. My Leorius is gonna be like a water gun. It's not gonna do any damage. And that's gonna be in your favor. RNG, right? But then think about it in the next way. Everything on your support champions rolled crap. And then I go in with my Baron. And I'm gonna melt them instantly because he's so freaking OP with the stats that he has. So that's why in the bin with the old, bring the new things at the top. And that's what's happening. It's literally the same sort of situation that was when 5-star gear got eclipsed by the 6-star gear, and is happening now with the Ascension. But I'm gonna cut it here, guys, because I feel like I went a bit longer than I intended to. Thanks everyone for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.